More than a year after the raids on his mansion, Diddy is finally being sent to jail. We're going to go through all the celebrities who warned the industry about Diddy. There have been rumors for decades that Diddy was involved in abuse and coercion, and now it's all coming to light. Not only that, but Diddy was only the first domino to fall, and we're allegedly going to see another giant fall soon.
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never expect it. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Come here. Is that two niggas kissing? Is one of them niggas Professor Oak?
Out of all the people who had a feud with Diddy and had been hinting about his activities, the one person who was never afraid to expose everything was Cat Williams, decades before the investigation into Diddy even began. Cat gave out all the details of what was happening behind closed doors. He collected information for years and even paid others when he knew they could be useful. Those who worked with Diddy all have horror stories to tell. Aubrey O'Day worked with Diddy for 6 years, and she was one of the first women to expose how Diddy was treating the women at his shows. Women were expected to do whatever Diddy asked, and if they said no, they would be fired. Diddy made sure that if you said no to him, your career in the entertainment industry was over.
There are so many witnesses. There are so many victims. Now, if or if not there were to be any type of investigation occurring, no victim should be or can communicate with other victims. And so victims are likely not communicating with victims. But a lot of people that know things or that are building things or whatever do reach out, do tell you everything. Sometimes they'll just write everything. I mean, I receive information whether I want to or not. But I've erred on the side of stepping away from the movie that's being made. And I don't mean that literally, I mean that metaphorically. The movie of Diddy that's being painted right now. And I come back to myself, what I know to be true, what I know I witnessed, what I have receipts of.
You want to show all your skin, you want to be naked, but the whole concept of Danity Kane was like, when it comes together, it's one.
Puff's going hard on the group, and then all of a sudden he singles me out and starts going on and on about how unhappy he is with me, and I just feel like nothing that I do, he's ever happy with.
Can I ask a question? What do you want to look like, though? Do you want to look like a playboy, playmate? Do you want to look like you?
I'm done with all of that.
No.
Like,
what do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you.
What do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you. I'm not focused on me. I'm focused on what this group should look like and how I should fit in this situation.
You like big hair, though.
I don't like big hair.
You do like big hair. You like big hair. You like a lot of makeup and all that.
Actually, I don't. I don't like big hair. I don't like certain makeup. I'm very flexible with what you want to do, and I've worked with everything that you've thrown at me.
I'm not seeing the flexibility. You gaming me.
Aubrey worked with Diddy on season 3 of Making the Band, and later became part of Danity Kane. She was eventually fired after having a fight with Diddy. Aubrey accused Diddy of being controlling, grooming, and emotionally abusive while she was under his management as part of Danity Kane. She claimed she was removed from the group because she refused to comply with expectations that went beyond her musical talent. You can probably guess what that means.
Why somebody would want to fire somebody.
Can you give us a little?
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me. Not talent-wise, but in other areas.
And were other girls doing?
I was the only one that was in those types of positions.
Wow.
I am a very strict and focused businesswoman because working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy?
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
He expects.
Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, wow. I
don't
think
know.
he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
After Diddy's arrest, Aubrey O'Day posted on her X account saying, "Let this serve as a cautionary reminder to young and aspiring individuals pursuing their dreams. The true warning is not that a jury may doubt your testimony, nor that a court's sentencing guidelines may fail to reflect the years of suffering you endured. The real warning is this. The moment someone in a position of power oversteps your boundaries or demands more than is legitimately required of you, walk away and do not look back. No dream, however bright, can outweigh the pain and exploitation that may follow if you remain. Too often, those who misuse their power, even when exposed, face far fewer consequences than the harm inflicted upon their victims. Protect yourself at the first sign of coercion or impropriety. If something feels wrong, trust that instinct and remove yourself from the situation. Your well-being is worth more than any opportunity.
Tell me about the sympathetic days to Diddy. What does that look like when you have a moment of feeling bad for the guy?
It wasn't all bad, but I don't know that any of the good was real.
Former Danity Kane singer Aubrey O'Day breaking her silence amid Sean Diddy Combs' trafficking and racketeering trial, revealing she is not going to testify.
I was contacted by Homeland Security, and I did have a meeting with Homeland Security.
At any point did they tell you, we're considering you to testify, we're considering your evidence that you've given us in the trial?
They tell you keep discretion with your meeting with us, obviously, because the trial has taken place.
Some people saw that you were going to be in New York, and they immediately started jumping to conclusions. Are you here to testify in the Diddy trial?
No, I'm not here to testify for the Diddy trial.
Instead, the singer will cover the trial for a podcast produced by Amy Robach and TJ Holmes.
Is he a threat to people if he is out of prison?
I can give you a few examples of why I would lean toward yes on that.
I could be here all night telling you about my experiences. I could write a book one day, and I probably will.
In a statement to ET, Aubrey says, quote, "While I have not currently been asked to testify, this trial is long overdue, as I've been speaking the truth about Diddy for 20 years now." Adding that my sincere hope is that justice will prevail and for there to be further systemic changes within the music industry to prevent all forms of abuse from those in a position of power.
Former Danity Kane singer Aubrey O'Day is breaking her silence amid Sean Diddy Combs' trafficking and racketeering trial, revealing she is not going to testify.
Being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? We would fight. We would talk.
In a statement to ET, Aubrey said, "While I have not currently been asked to testify, this trial is long overdue, as I've been speaking the truth about Diddy for 20 years now." She added, "My sincere hope is that justice will prevail and that there will be further systemic changes within the music industry to prevent all forms of abuse from those in positions of power." Another artist that Diddy brought up and practically shaped into a star was Usher. And let's just say, Usher's time with Diddy wasn't as innocent as you might think.
To New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your
Jodeci,
parents were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
what
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to puppy camp?
Hell no.
See?
Recently, Usher himself talked about Diddy and what living with him was like. In an episode of The Howard Stern Show, Usher said that Diddy introduced him to a wild lifestyle when he was just 13 years old, taking him to clubs and exposing him to things no teenager should have seen.
If you don't mind me asking, because I know the topic is sensitive, what happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing something, they may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
Where did you hear it?
Bro, you know how people be talking, and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when somebody say, yo, man, I don't F with them niggas, man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard it, and that's what happened.
Gene Deal, who was Diddy's bodyguard when all of this was happening, claimed it was common knowledge in the industry that Diddy was involved with Usher. Allegedly, one time Diddy was so rough with Usher that Usher had to go to the hospital. There are reportedly medical records that confirm this, and after that incident, other celebrities started avoiding Usher.
Become friends in a strange way, you know?
Like Robin Big.
Yeah, it's like... Exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, you...
You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're out.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Certainly not. Everything ain't for everybody.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
It's 5.
Perhaps the worst part about the Usher situation was that the abuse wasn't just limited to him. To escape Diddy's abuse, Usher brought in someone else to take his place, and that someone was Justin Bieber. Justin worked with Diddy at the start of his career and was even sent to live with him.
Wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like, what kind of asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you no more? Because that's what pedophiles do. They get victims, and then once they get to a certain age and they get too old for them to enjoy them, they send them out to go get other young kids. Now, if Usher is a procurer, and if Usher knew what was gonna happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak off, is he a good guy? Especially considering what happened to him, especially considering that he sat Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for yours.
Several people in Diddy's circle have come forward and confirmed this. One of them was Jaguar Wright, who used to be a background singer for Jay-Z. She called out Usher for being a hypocrite, for not keeping Justin Bieber safe and only thinking about himself. According to her, if it weren't for Usher, Diddy would have never had access to Justin in the first place.
I don't got no celebrity friends because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child, none of these that want to say something
Travis
now.
Gave you the address, though, right?
Travis gave me the address.
Right.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard you. Hold on.
Okay.
All you fake hard niggas, you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my coat car. So y'all shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You shut the fuck up about Michael.
Right.
I'm Michael now. Everyone in the rap industry knows what kind of person Diddy really is. Some of the biggest names in the game have spoken out against him. During an episode of Drink Champs, Kanye West dissed Diddy, calling him fake hard, and said that the truth about him is far worse than anyone can imagine.
But you got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. This is Stop it. You set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think is happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow,
for him. Because he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we gotta hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the way. Certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. He wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway.
All these years, you being the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They said you're a hater. They said you're crazy.
You do this, and now everybody's complaining. My ass hurting.
In case you're wondering why Kanye mentioned Meek Mill, that's because Diddy and Meek allegedly have a special relationship. According to 50 Cent, Diddy and Meek Mill are secretly in a relationship. 50 Cent claimed that Diddy once asked him out on a date, saying he wanted to take him shopping. But 50 knew what that really meant. Go out with me and I'll make you rich. 50 Cent declined, but Meek Mill said yes. And before long, Diddy and Meek started showing up to parties wearing matching clothes.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's a new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeffrey Epstein.
You and Puff haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
Well, that's why. It's only business. It was really, away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's a little fluffy.
It's not your scene.
It's not my stuff.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was asking to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you, and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. When I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, I'll spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable. You don't hear him talking about French. French was right there. Right? Why you get so quiet? You guys make me feel like I'm scared.
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot.
No, they see this. You see this. They see this.
According to 50 Cent, he and Netflix are working on a documentary that's set to be released in the first quarter of 2026. In a recent interview, 50 Cent said the documentary has taken so long because the allegations against Diddy just keep piling up. In his words, it's a difficult project because every day there are new accusations coming out, new things that happened. It's become an octopus with so many arms and so many things going on.
Singer Don Richard testifies that Sean Diddy Combs hit Cassie Ventura with a skillet full of eggs. Danity Kane alum Don Richard, who began working with Sean Diddy Combs while competing on his show Making the Band in 2004, took the stand after Cassie wrapped her testimony May 16th. Richard joined Combs' group Diddy Dirty Money after Danity Kane disbanded. While on the stand, she told jurors that she saw Combs hit Ventura with a skillet full of eggs at his Los Angeles home in 2009. Richard testified per NBC News. He came downstairs asking where his phone was, and he threw her to the ground. Richard added, "I was scared for her. I was scared to do anything." Richard's testimony in Combs' ongoing trial comes 8 months after she accused the rapper in a lawsuit of subjecting her to years of inhumane working conditions, which included groping, assault, and false imprisonment. The lawsuit, filed in September, obtained by E! News, stated, Mr. Combs frequently held meetings with Ms. Richard wearing only his underwear, despite Ms. Richard's protests and repeated requests for him to put on clothing. In her filing, the 41-year-old also alleged that Combs ordered her to strip down to her underwear, made demeaning remarks about her body, and entered her dressing room unannounced while she was unclothed, and touched her without her permission under the guise of showing the stylist what to do.
Don Richard, a member of Danity Kane, same as Aubrey O'Day, and later part of Diddy, Dirty Money, accused Diddy of harassment and threats during her time working with him. In 2024, Richard filed a lawsuit alleging that Diddy assaulted her and that she personally witnessed him abuse Cassie Ventura. Dawn Richard testified that she saw Sean Diddy Combs hit Cassie Ventura with a skillet full of eggs at his Los Angeles home in 2009. According to NBC News, she told jurors that Combs came downstairs asking where his phone was, then threw Cassie to the ground. Richard added, "I was scared for her. I was scared to do anything." Her testimony came 8 months after she accused the rapper in a lawsuit of subjecting her to years of inhumane working conditions, including groping, assault, and false imprisonment. The lawsuit, obtained by E! News, stated that Combs would frequently hold meetings wearing only his underwear, despite Richard's protests and repeated requests for him to put on clothing. The filing also alleged that Combs ordered her to strip, down to her underwear, made demeaning remarks about her body, and entered her dressing room unannounced while she was unclothed, touching her without permission under the guise of showing the stylist what to do. Cassie Ventura's lawyer stated that with Diddy behind bars, Cassie can finally feel at peace. Before Diddy's sentencing, Cassie wrote a letter to the judge saying she feared for her life and what he might do if released. For at least the next 2 years, Cassie Ventura is safe and moving forward. After Sean Diddy Combs was sentenced to 50 months in prison for 2 counts of transporting individuals to engage in prostitution on October 3rd, her lawyers released a statement saying, "While nothing can undo the trauma caused by Mr. Combs, the sentence imposed today recognizes the seriousness of his offenses. We are confident that with the support of her family and friends, Ms. Ventura will continue healing, knowing that her bravery and fortitude have been an inspiration to so many." Cassie Ventura was in an on and off relationship with Diddy from 2007 to 2018. In addition to his 4 years in prison, Diddy was handed 5 years of supervised release and fined $500,000. Ahead of his sentencing, Diddy, who was acquitted on sex and racketeering charges, expressed remorse in a letter to the judge, writing, "I lost my way. I got lost in my journey, lost in the drugs and the excess." Sources are already hinting that another huge name in the industry is about to be exposed, someone who's been hiding in plain sight, pretending to be untouchable. And when that name drops, it's going to shake the industry even harder than Diddy's fall did. Make sure you're subscribed, because when the next one goes down, we'll be right here to break it all down.